Fans, welcome back to Mindful Combat. So before I get into the breakdown for this video, if this is the first time you've checked out my channel, please support me by hitting the subscribe button and also help me reach a personal goal. I'm hoping to reach 400 subscribers within 10 days of releasing this video, and I can't do that on my own. I need the support from all of you guys. So if you like my content, or you've already subscribed, or perhaps it's the first time you've checked out my content, firstly subscribe, and then help me by sharing this video and sharing my channel with all your friends, all your family, anyone that's interested in fighting. Help me reach my personal target, and I would be really, really grateful. So let's see, hopefully, I'm hoping to reach 400 subscribers within 10 days. Also, if you're interested in supporting great YouTubers that make great content, particularly MMA related content, and you enjoy watching fight breakdowns like I'm going to do in this video now, I'm going to put a link down in the description to the channel for MMA Headspace. This is a channel that I've recently come aware of, and he provides great content. His breakdowns are very detailed, very intricate. He's a much better video editor than me, so please support him as well. Check out his channel, it's in the description below, and if you like his content, subscribe to his content. And yeah, I'm also going to put a link down for MMA Newsroom. Check that channel out as well, and if you like them, then subscribe to the channel. Anyways, I'm done with that part. Let's get to the part that I enjoy doing. The reason why I do these videos isn't to do these introductions, it's to break down fights. So let me break down this fight. So for this fight, I'm going to be breaking down Cain Velasquez, his comeback versus Francis Ngannou. This is an important fight in the heavyweight division. It will either provide us the comeback of one of the all-time great heavyweights in Cain Velasquez, or it will provide a re-emergence in the top echelons of the heavyweight division of Francis Ngannou. Now this is a fight that I'm looking very forward to because there's tons and tons of invariables in this fight. And some of those invariables include, for example, Cain Velasquez has been off since July 2016 when he beat Travis Brown. That's about 2.5 years to the time that he's going to have fought, maybe a little bit more. What has Cain got left? Prior to that, he had taken off over a year. So in the last 3.5, 4 years, he's only fought once. He hasn't been an active heavyweight. So for all the accolades he has in his resume already, and for everything everyone says he could achieve, there is so much more he could have done if he was active. In his comeback, he's fighting Francis Ngannou, one of the most devastating knockout artists the heavyweight has ever seen. Francis Ngannou has true one-hit knockout power. And many heavyweights have found that out, as Curtis Blaydes found out in his last fight. He got written off after his losses to Stipe Miocic and Derrick Lewis, but he showed in his last fight that he's still dangerous and he's still learning, and he's very much at the infancy of his MMA career. He is 32 years old, but he is at the infancy of his career, so how is he developed? Will he rise to the occasion? How will he fight Cain Velasquez? Will he be able to deal with it? Because Cain's going to provide familiar problems that he's had before. Let's get into the breakdown before I go off on a tangent now. I tend to do that a bit, so yeah. So, the tail of the tape. Cain Velasquez is 36 years old, Francis Ngannou is 32. The age doesn't tell the true story of the difference in wear and tear. Cain's had tons of injuries, tons of wear and tear on his body, loads of surgeries. He's been fighting for a long time. Even before MMA, he was a wrestler. He's obviously had... he's been knocked out by JDS, and he's had a tough fight with Doom, so he's got a bit more wear and tear on his body. Whereas Francis Ngannou, like I said, is very much in the infancy of his MMA career. I'm pretty sure he didn't have no amateur career. He's gone straight into professional ranks. And he started later on in life, so his body's going to be fresher. So at 32, he's still very much developing, and he's still very much young in the game. Whereas Cain Velasquez, he's had tons and tons of injuries. And so that is witnessing. So that's something to consider there. Their records. Cain Velasquez has a record of 14 wins and 2 losses, which is shockingly small amount of fights for how long he's been around, for all the accolades and for all the talk that people have about Cain Velasquez. But I don't want to sound like a broken record, it is due to the inactivity. Francis Ngannou is 12-3, so their records are not dissimilar. I suppose the difference would be the level at which they have fought. Cain Velasquez was fighting for a world title in his 9th fight. Prior to that, he was main eventing against Minotauro. He had fights with Ben Rothwell, so you know what I mean. He's had some tough fights, and he's got good experience against good, credible opponents. And whereas Francis Ngannou is 12-3, he's had 1 world title fight. He's had a couple of main events, but it's not to the same degree as Cain Velasquez. So although their records are not dissimilar, 16 fights and 15 fights, there is a difference in the level of position and experience that they have, the bright light. So yeah, there's that to consider. Height. Cain Velasquez is 6'1". Francis Ngannou is 6'4". I've always felt like he was a bit taller, but 6'4" is he's going to have a 3-inch height advantage of Cain Velasquez, which bears more of an impact in this fight, because he's going to try to have a striking style. He's going to want to keep his distance as well, so that 3 inches is going to matter. That brings us into the reach nicely, where Cain Velasquez has a 77-inch reach and Francis Ngannou has an 83-inch reach, so he's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. So on the feet, he's going to have a ton of size to play with, so that's going to be very interesting. Look at their styles. So Cain Velasquez at his best is a pressure heavy hurricane of a heavyweight. He will be in your face, he'll be wrestling you, he'll be boxing you, he'll be kicking you. He's just going to be in your face going for takedowns. He's not going to stop. He is a hurricane. He is actually a hurricane. They call him Cardio Cain Velasquez for a reason. And other than where he gassed out against World Doom, he is a human storm. Cain will not stop coming, and I'm hoping to see primetime Cain. Francis Ngannou, he's a striker. He's a one-hitter quitter. He'll knock you out. If he doesn't knock you out, though, it becomes a problem. He's got a very boxing-heavy attack. Now, he got the submission against, I believe it was Anthony Hamilton. Not much to be said about that, but he's a boxer. He's going to box. Look at some of their key wins. So with Cain Velasquez, you've got to go early in his career. His 6th fight was against Czech Congo. He has a key win over Czech Congo. Ben Rothwell, Minotauro Nogueira, Brock Lesnar, JDS not once but twice. Bigfoot Silva, when Bigfoot Silva was relevant, not once but twice. He's beaten Travis Brown in 2016, when Travis Brown still had a bit of life about him. So he's got some solid key wins that has put him in those ranks of the great heavyweights. Francis Ngannou now, he's knocked out Alistair Overeem, which was a good win. Obviously, Alistair's a little bit chinny. He knocked out Andrei Arlovski, which I don't really rate too much at this stage of Arlovski's career. But that's something that bears consideration. And he's got the 2 wins over Curtis Blades, and those are good wins. Particularly his most recent win over Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades was seen as a true heavyweight contender, so that's a good win for him to have. So yeah, they've both got some good key wins. I think Cain Velasquez obviously trumps him in that. Now the X factor in this fight. Before I go into the X factor, let's talk about the issues. For Cain Velasquez, is going to be his inactivity. What are we going to be seeing? Wear and tear. What version of Cain are we going to get in the ring in his comeback? What can we expect from Cain at 36 years old, with nearly 3 years off, having fought only once in nearly 4 years? What can we expect? And with Francis Ngannou, is going to be the problems that became evidently clear in his fight with Stipe Miocic. That being his cardio and his wrestling, those are going to be his issues. The X factor for Francis Ngannou is definitely his power. He can land one shot and knock you out. And with Cain Velasquez, it's going to be his wrestling and his conditioning. That's the true X factor. And let's get into the fight. How do I see the fight playing out? For this fight, I'm operating under the assumption that we are going to see a high-level Cain Velasquez come back, and I'll tell you why. Unlike his previous layoffs where he's been off because of injury, this layoff has not been injury influenced. And while originally, yes, the beginning of it may have been because he originally pulled out against World Doom in 2016 because of his back injury, the bulk of this layoff has been because he's wanted time off to spend it with his daughter, who's just been born, well, certainly his child. I'm not sure if it's his daughter. Because he wants to spend time with her family and wanted to watch his child grow. So he's healthy coming into this fight, in theory. And so I'm expecting a healthy, in tune, primetime Cain Velasquez to come in. That being said, although Francis can knock out any man alive, including Cain Velasquez, I mean, it happened to Cain once, right, with JDS, I am expecting Cain Velasquez to absolutely swarm Francis Ngannou from the first bell he will be in Ngannou's face. He's going to be pushing him against the cage. He's going to be beating him up. He's going to be taking down. He's going to be following Stipe Miocic game plan that was set out, his blueprint, and he's going to follow it to a T. He's going to charge after Francis, and I think he's going to be able to put the pressure on Francis and be able to get the W. So that's what I think is going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me if Francis lands that one punch and knocks out Cain. This is the heavyweight division, because Francis is an exceptional hitter even at heavyweight, so that could happen. And I suppose he was meant to lose against Curtis Blades in a rematch, right, and he was able to knock him out early, so it wouldn't surprise me. I'm still going to go with Cain Velasquez to get the swarm, absolutely maul him and get the stoppage in round 3. That's my prediction, a Cain Velasquez stoppage in round 3. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And let me know what you think about Cain Velasquez's comeback. What do you think about it? And guys, are you excited about this fight? Because I know I'm definitely very excited about this fight. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you for tuning in, guys. Mindful Combat.